court case rewind. Sean Diddy Combs facing sex trafficking and racketeering charges. A jury set to be seated on Monday. And the retrial of Karen Reed, who's accused of running down her Boston police officer boyfriend and leaving him to die in the snow. Both have pleaded not guilty. We want to bring in ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmire with what's happened so far and what to expect this week. Brian, thanks for being here. Let's start with the Combs case. You were in the courtroom on Friday. We thought that the jury was supposed to be seated then. It was moved to Monday. What happened? What can we expect?
Yeah, so on Thursday night, the judge said that they had 45 prospective jurors. On Friday, was supposed to whittle it down to that magic number of 12 jurors and 6 alternates. But one of the 45 actually got, for lack of a better term, cold feet, and so they don't want to be on the case anymore. And so everyone involved was really worried that if they picked a final 12 on Friday, come Monday morning, that might happen again. And if that happens on the day of trial and you're losing jurors, then it doesn't happen. So the idea was bring all 43 people on Monday morning. The process should only take about 10 to 20 minutes. And at 8:30 in the morning, hopefully we'll have 12 jurors and 6 alternates, and we'll be able to start with opening statements soon after.
Something tells me there might be more twists and turns, too, as we're just getting started with this trial. We did mention opening statements expected on Monday. Also, we are expecting to hear from ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura this week. We should know that there's this the video that was obtained by CNN reportedly showing Diddy kicking, dragging Ventura, who was his girlfriend at the time. Diddy later issuing an apology. A judge ruled that it can be shown in court, but Combs' defense team argues that the video was manipulated. CNN denies that. All right, so we had to get all of that legal stuff out of the way there. So why is that video so important to her testimony?
So first and foremost, Cassie's expected to be the third witness to testify. So it could be Monday, it could be Tuesday, but it's so important because it goes to the heart of both arguments for the prosecution and the defense. For the prosecution, they're saying that this video is an example of multiple instances of assault and sexual battery against Cassie by Sean Combs as a part of this criminal enterprise, that racketeering allegation they have here, and the sex trafficking, that he used coercion or threats thereof to traffic her across state lines. But for Sean Combs' defense, they're saying, and it came out on Friday, a little hint of their defense, that he and Cassie were in, again, this is the defense's argument, not mine, that he and Cassie were in a very tumultuous and domestic violence-based relationship, that they both hit each other, and that the incident they're going to see in this video and that you might see in testimony are isolated incidents of domestic abuse, but not for the purposes of trafficking. So that video is going to be very important for the interpretation of the jury as to what this case is really about.
Just an unreal case. Let's turn to the Karen Reed trial. As Janae noted, she's accused of killing her boyfriend by hitting him with a car. So much happening in court. Well, what's the latest now?
So the latest is that we are continuing on with investigators who are a part of this case. A sergeant who supervised the infamous now former state trooper, Michael Proctor. He was testifying about what was happening in this investigation, what was found, and a few things stood out in this cross-examination on Friday. Text messages between Karen Reed and Brian Higgins, an ATF officer, and the defense seemed to insinuate that there was some sort of relationship going on to try to create an alternative suspect, that there's another reason why John O'Keefe might have been killed other than what the prosecution is putting forward. Also, this video outside of John O'Keefe's home where you can see at about 5:07 in the morning, Karen Reed takes her SUV and appears to make contact with John O'Keefe's vehicle. And that's important because it's all about this broken taillight. Did the taillight get broken when it hit John O'Keefe, or did it happen here? And then, of course, the dog Chloe from the Alberts home, who the defense is saying was part of this scuffle. Well, that dog was rehomed shortly thereafter this incident, and there seems to be nothing in the investigation. And those are some key points the defense really pointed out in the cross-examination.
So much going on. All right, Brian Buckmire, thank you so much as always. We appreciate you.
My pleasure.